Today we're going to show you how to use Excel's function library to perform advanced functions. So let's just take some values. A equal to 5, B being 6, and C being 8. Now, let's say we wanted to find a particular formula like A times sine B. So that will be equal to A multiplied by sine B. Now, if you know the sine formula, you can type in sine and then type in the number or the location, the address. And that's one way to do it. Now, sometimes we don't know the function and we need to actually use Excel's function bar tool. Now, here we'll see a list of all the functions that Excel offers. Engineering functions, some of which you may be familiar with already. Math and trig functions, under which you'll see things like sine, cosine, etc. Here you'll see a little description of what the function is, and you can also get help on a function. Right? So it tells you, in this case, return sine of the given angle. The sine function has the following syntax, and required the angle in radians for which you want to find the sine. So it means then that by looking at the help file, you can tell exactly how this function is going to work. Once you select a function, click OK. A window comes up where you supply the arguments for the function. You can then select the cell that contains the value you wish to use, and you can click OK. And there we see two different ways of applying a function in Excel. Now, let's say I have a particular value or list of values actually that I want to create. So I'm going to create this list of values automatically all the way down to 12. Now, if I wanted to find what 5 times this number would be, or some function, then I can enter the formula as we saw before. Then I can fill down the formula, and what you will see is that as the formula was filled down, you would notice the address that it references is moving with each cell. This is called relative referencing, and it allows Excel to interpret what you wish to do when when copying or filling down a row or across columns. So if I came this way, you would see this formula now refers to column F1. Right? Now, maybe what I want is I don't want to repeat or to use relative referencing. In this case, I want to create a function that adds whatever A is. So it's, let's say, this function. I'm going to insert a row here, and let's say this is X and this is Y, and essentially what I want to find a function Y equals the 5 sine X plus A. So that function is Y equals to 5 sine X plus A. So that's a formula we wish to use. In this case, what I'm going to write in this cell is 5 times sine X plus A. Now note what happens when we fill using relative references. This is now not correctly addressed. This part of the formula is not correctly addressed because it's not referring to A. It followed the same relative referencing rules. So how do we avoid that? Well, if you put dollar signs before the row number and the column number header, we end up with what's called an absolute reference. So this formula, when copied, will always refer to B2. And we can see as we go down here, B2 is always referred to. Okay. So that brings us to the end of referencing and formula bar.